Stop the cap.
You know, black people have a superpower that I don't think black people recognize enough. I know everybody and their grandmother is going to come over and they're going to deny it. And they're going to, just make up some shit, just say some dumb shit just to be saying it. And it's just not true, right? And what I notice is, right, so, we get into it with the Somalis, we get into it with the Dominicans, we get into it with some of the Ethiopians, right? And even when it comes to, many of these other groups that don't even have any blackness, in them or about them. And it's like, we all know that anti-blackness exists in the world, right? We all know that people want to affiliate and associate with what they perceive to be the winning team, which are essentially white people and white skin and whiteness as a concept, right? And they want to get as far away from blackness as humanly possible, right? And the funny thing is, it's like all these folks, what they really want black people to do, right? It's like they secretly want to maintain white supremacy, even though they won't openly admit it. But what they really want is they want black people to be like, oh, boo-hoo, we're at the bottom, boo-hoo. Nobody likes us, boo-hoo. Nobody wants us, boo-hoo. Right? And then they elevate themselves, even though they're not, all the way at the top, with white people being the standard. But they elevate themselves over black people, and black people are just supposed to be at the bottom going, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, right? But this is what's so funny, right? When black people stay on code and black people, collectively, in mass, decide, all right, we ain't fucking with this group of people. Like we're just done with them. We're sick of their cooning. You know what I mean? We're sick of their Uncle Tomming. We're sick of their what word am I looking for? Just sick of all that soft shoeing and tap dancing. We're sick of it, right? And so we just decide in popular culture that we just not gonna fuck with them anymore. You know what I mean? Like I was looking at a thread about the Dominicans, and you got cats writing research papers talking about Godfrey's I know black, I'm Dominican, right? You got so many butthurt Dominicans running around, and I'm saying let me get a Dominican some credit, because they have, they're challenging, the narrative. They know what goes on in their community. They know about the mejorar la raza and all that other bullshit, right? They're aware of the shit, and I do think it's a generational thing. And we've talked about the history and Trujillo and all his bullshit, and the Parsley Massacre and all that crap, right? We know about all these things, right? We know about the history of Haiti ruling the island for 22 years, and then they try to come with some mental gymnastics to justify their anti-blackness, both here and abroad. But it's still funny to me, the level of butthurt when black people just write them off. And the same thing, like I said, goes for, the Somalis that, are out here cooning out, and they want to sit up here and they want to deny that they were ever slaves or that slavery ever happened. And, they want to talk about how original they are. And you can pull up pictures of, the Arabized Somalis versus the actual Somalis in their traditional garb. There's been books written by Somali scholars. Remember that only 39% of the, Somalia is even literate, right? So they're not even the people that do know how to read. They don't read like that type of information. They just know how to read to get through the day, but they're not sitting there going, oh, let me go read, a book written by a Somali scholar, right? So I just think it's funny how, and this doesn't just go for Dominicans and Somalians. I'm just talking about them because we do, we've over the last couple of years, we have, collectively pretty much written them off. Like we already know what time it is when they walk in the room. Like they get side eyes when they walk in the room, and they feel that, and they don't like that. And it seems like again, apparently, what they were thinking is they were thinking that they're levitating above us, right? They were thinking that, but what's so funny is when you reject, you know, when you reject that concept, and then on top of that, like it's like first off, like especially when it comes to African Americans are the most imitated people on the face of the planet. The most imitated people from style to music, sports, entertainment, all that stuff. We're the most visible. I wish we were visible in other areas and in other ways, right? But a lot of people are just not into that, or they just simply completely, ignore it. Like, you don't hear stories about like the brother that was in the NFL and now he's a professor at MIT. Like nobody knows about that. Nobody, focuses on that. It's like, oh, what's going on with this rapper and their relationship with, Sukihana or some bullshit like that. Like that's what people focus on. They don't focus on any of the other areas, of black excellence. They just don't. But I just noticed that, people they get so they want us to be at the bottom, right? And in many ways, we are, socioeconomically, collectively, as a racial group, in terms of, the fact that, the race war was lost and slavery happened, and, we're still being marginalized and discriminated. But there's a level, and I remember I had somebody who said this, that there's a level of freedom that black people have that other people don't get to enjoy, right? Because we don't, since we're outside the fray in many regards when it comes to Western society, like we're free to basically do whatever the fuck we want to do and define things however we want to define things, even though I'd argue that that ends up being a problem, like when we get into the gender discussion and patriarchy, and then you get women running around, patriarchy is Eurocentric, but funny, the freaking Eurocentric patriarchal responsibilities, you trying to keep that shit, but that's a whole nother conversation. I'm just saying, people try to use shit at their convenience, even when it's broken, they try to take advantage of the whole situation and then try to, come up with their own redefinition of things and try to get away with, what they think that they can get away with. But I'm saying, there's a level of freedom, that, I totally agree, with this person that brought up the point that we, enjoy. And I think that, people can be jealous of that to a degree, and they feel some type of way, especially white people. I'd say that's more white people than any of the other, the other groups. And I always find that funny, like whenever you see like these white folks that always want to go and do some hippie shit, whether it's they want to run to India and go meditate, or, whether they're, going and find themselves being the token white person at some sort of Afro beats, music festival or something like that. Like there is a I don't know, a freedom that, some people, not all people, but some people, embrace, right, when it comes to black people. And again, I keep thinking about the white guy that told me that whole, black men are cheating the system. And I'm like, how are they cheating the system? And again, ignoring, he felt that white men ignored, female nature, and ignored the fact that, structure, stability, that's all cool, but, at the end of the day, it's like women are into, things other than that, right? And this is the conversations we have between street dudes and educated lames, and, even I will acknowledge that I think there's a lot of things that educated lames, need to work on. But I'm just saying, overall, that there is this air, I don't know what you want to call it, where despite black people's, you know, position, right, despite black people's, you know, reputation, socioeconomically, politically, militaristically, however you want to define it, it's just funny to me how you have these people that they want black people to be at the bottom. It makes them feel good to feel or think of black people as being beneath them. But the minute that black people aren't like in the corner crying or pouting or you know, feeling some type of way, and they just don't give a fuck, you know, these people lose their shit. You know, I remember when one woman in particular told me, you know, that is one of the reasons why she doesn't wear weave. She's like, I'm not gonna give white women that shit. Fuck that. You know, it's like it's hard to sit there and say, oh, black is beautiful, and you know, talk about how you know, you do feel beautiful when it's blatantly obvious that, you know, you're trying to imitate that look, and they know it and you know it, but you're in denial of it. And you know, they just kind of like run off laughing, like, look at this bitch trying to look like us, you know. And but when you have a situation where a black woman does the opposite, and she's like, I ain't trying to look like you, and again, you know, when you have the contrast between, let's just say, a black woman and a white woman, right? If the white woman is the standard, right, a black woman can never meet that standard, because essentially, you know, feature wise, hair texture wise, skin color wise, they're diametrically opposed to one another. By the same token, if the black woman is the standard, the white woman cannot meet that standard, because again, they're diametrically, you know, opposed to one another, you know, in terms of, you know, feature set features and all that other shit, right? So, you know, the point that I'm making is that, you know, it's funny to me at how it's like, okay, if our opinions don't matter, why are you butthurt? Why are you feeling some type of way? You know what I mean? Like, it's not even a matter of somebody talking shit. It's just, you know, you just give them a side eye. You're like, they're so worried. Like, how do I put this? It's like if we were if we were elevating them and putting them on a pedestal, which is ultimately what they want, you know, they would just feel proud and they would be, you know, content and all that other shit, right? But the fact that when we, you know, like, especially like in popular discourse, right? You know, like if Tariq Nasheed, you know, just, you know, says something and everybody piggybacks it, you know what I mean? Or if, you know, in these discussions, you know, about Dominicans and the whole I know black thing, because, you know, we've all heard it. It's just been going on for too long. And eventually, you know, we start recognizing, I'm like, okay, you don't really want to be a part of, you know, the group. You ain't really trying to, you know, again, like, even us as African Americans, like the vast majority of African Americans, yeah, some of us, we can, you know, we can pass for being African. Others of us Africans would quickly tell us, like, you know, you not one of us, like, in terms of, you know, we'd be able to be identified out of a crowd. They would know that we're not African, you know, because of whatever small, you know, percentage of admixture exist, right? But you know, it just seems like everybody wants us to just mope, and they just want us to act in a way that elevates them and puts them on a pedestal. And when we don't do that, you know, it's just, I honestly, I just expect them, you know, to just think what they think and to move the fuck on. But it's like, they're like social vampires. Like, they need you to feel inferior so that they feel good about themselves. They need you to like it again. It's like the fucking Grinch in the with the Who's of Whoville. After the Grinch came and took away all the presents and all the Christmas trees and all the hams and everything else, and then the Who's still went out there and we're singing the Whoville song, the Christmas song. And the Grinch was up there like, what the fuck? The Grinch is like, them motherfuckers, I took everything away and they still up there singing like, what the fuck? And that's literally how these other people act when it comes to us. It's like black people in poverty. And yeah, we got a lot of fucked up shit going on. A lot of people upset and everything. But yet we still find, ways as a people to, find some joy in life. And it's like there's just people that they hate that. They fucking hate. You're poor. You're supposed to be miserable. And it's like, yeah, everybody's got money problems. Everybody talks about the fucking money and all this other shit. But like, black people are still going, do what they do, that the things that they fucking enjoy. You know what I mean? They're still going to do that. They're still going to find something that is joyful in life. And I swear it's like there's just certain people that they just get mad that you're happy or you're living life, and then you get the other people that they get mad that you're not sitting there, when they do all these comparing and contrasting, to us, that we're not, putting them on a pedestal. You know what I mean? Or when because a lot of times I think African Americans have the most pan-Africanism when it comes to, ideas and concepts of, what it is to be black in this world, right? Because, we look at it, we deal in the West, we deal with white supremacy on a day-to-day basis. We deal with racism on a day-to-day basis, right? And I guess the problem is we kind of, we do ignore, the tribalism in Africa. We ignore, the other, some of the things that go on in Africa. And I'm saying a lot of the Africans currently are, they're adopting, much of the attitudes, when in reference to neocolonialism, that African Americans have. Even challenges, to religion. I'd say over the last like I'll say, I could say 10 years, but I'm saying, yeah, over the last 10 years, like actually seeing Africans make videos and commentary on YouTube about the brainwashing of black people when it comes to religion and how it was used as a political tool against black people is refreshing. Articles that are being written by Africans. There was one African in particular. I made a video about him a couple years ago, referencing, how, it's so much a part of the culture and it's not questioned, and people don't want to lose their friends and networks and everything if they don't embrace it. But at the same time, it's like they recognize like, nah, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit that was brought to us and served up to us by these goddamn Europeans. That's what the fuck it was. And so, they're recognizing that. It goes back to what Malcolm X said. It's like, black people, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm saying it's like black people are really not going to be free until we learn, to think for ourselves and define things for ourselves, as opposed to defining things through the lens of other people. Defining things based off of, how other people interpret us and react to us and whatnot. And when you cease to care, what I'm saying? Like, you take your power back. And I'm saying, there's a lot of black people who still don't get that. But it's just, it's funny to see even the ones, because I don't even think it's done intentionally for a lot of black people. I just think black people, they'll see something being said or somebody doing something consistently that is anti-black, and they're like, you know what, man, fuck that motherfucker, right? And then they just, they're done. They're just mentally, they're done. They don't care, about that person anymore. But the funny thing is they lose it. Like when black people stop caring. You know what I mean? They lose. They don't like being labeled. You know what I mean? It's like when somebody doesn't like you and there's nothing that you can do to get them to like you anymore. Like when somebody pegs you as a liar, you know what I mean? Like they're just not gonna listen to you anymore. Like you just like no matter what you do, they'd be like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what kills, them about us. When we write them off, because at that point there's nothing that they can do. They've already been written off. And they'll be sitting there, trying to tap dance and trying to convince, otherwise, and name calling and getting mad and, just attacking in all type of various ways. But see, again, once they've been hit with that label by us, you know what I mean? And I'm saying it's not even one that they have that we put it on the billboard somewhere. No, they feel it when they come around us. They feel that shit. And they don't like the way that it makes them feel, and they start freaking out, and they start trying to do everything in their power to try to reverse the shit, to try to reclaim that power. I mean, it kind of feels like the first time a dude, a guy fucks a chick. You know what I mean? That is important, because that is when the power dynamic shifts from her to him, because he hit it. You know what I mean? And then she's going to be freaking out because she doesn't know if he's going to call back the next day. She doesn't know if he's going to want a relationship. She's not going to know if they're going to do it again, right? She don't know. So she's like, "Oh my God, oh my God." She's freaking out, right? Because she don't want to be a hoe. She don't want her body count to go up for no reason. Oh my God, oh my God. Right? And that's literally how these folks act. When black people just stop giving a fuck. It's not even us talking shit. You know what I mean? We just look at each other and give each other the telepathic black people eye. Y'all know about the telepathic black people eye. We give each other the telepathic black people eye. And motherfuckers is all butthurt about this shit. It's just funny to me. It's so funny to me. I'm like, why are you butthurt? Right? You better than us, right? Right? You're something else, right? You're not the same as us. Okay, yeah. Right? So then they start arguing, especially when it comes to like, some of these coon black diaspora groups. You know what I mean? They start bitching about how African Americans are defining what is black and what is African, and it's like, didn't you just say, first off, why the fuck do you even care how we define what African is or what black is? Because didn't you already remove yourself from the group? You already removed yourself from the group. So it's like, here we are removing you from the group. And then they get butthurt that they're being removed from a group that they didn't even want to be a part of in the first place. Like, that shit is retarded. It's retarded. Like, you know what I mean? It's like somebody's like, I'm leaving your house. Okay, you can get the fuck out. No. You will not tell me to get the fuck out. I am leaving underneath my own volition. And it's like, okay, well, get the fuck out then. No, you will not tell me to get the fuck out. I am leaving underneath my own volition. Right? Like they want to get the last word in. They want it to be that they left, not that you kicked them out. And so you get into these stupid ass fucking back and forth arguments about that. Like, it's so funny to me. It's so funny to me. It's like, I thought you didn't care, right? I thought you were levitating above everybody, right? You know what I mean? And I'm saying this doesn't just apply to like other black people in the black diaspora that don't want to be in the diaspora. It applies to, even, other groups like that try to do this sort of cultural appropriation shit when it comes to black people. And then like if black people don't give it the stamp of approval, it doesn't go anywhere. And you see this especially you see this in hip hop. You know what I mean? Like if black people don't give that shit the stamp of approval, like it just ain't going nowhere. Like, white media is like, isn't this artist the new hotness? And black people are like, nope. They're not. It's trash. This shit is trash. We ain't buying it. We ain't going for it. This shit is a fucking hot booger. We ain't down with it. And no matter how much they try, like if black people in mass just ain't going for it, if we don't give it the black people, this is cool stamp of approval, it doesn't seem to go anywhere. You know what I mean? And they push and they push and they push and they push, and then eventually they give up, and then they try to prevent or present some new bullshit that and try to get us to co-sign it. I'm just saying a lot of black people don't realize that they have a lot of power when it comes to, the way that we, define certain things, and the way that we, either go for certain things or don't go for other things. Like there's a lot baked in there. There really, really is. But it's just so funny at how anytime black people are just like, anytime we don't go for certain shit, man, everybody is just so butthurt by us not going for certain shit. When we just sit there and just like, it's like they want to be, I don't know, it's like they want to be the token. They want our, stamp of approval, right? But I'm like, why are you seeking our stamp of approval? I thought our standards didn't fucking matter. Why are you over here trying to get us to co-sign some shit? You know what I mean? Like I'm like, either you're going to define it for yourself, or again, you don't care what we think. So why are you over here in my face, bro? You know what I'm saying? Keep it the fuck moving. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you think this and that and the third, but yeah, I do think that about you, because you've proven yourself to be that. Now get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Like you've all, like, people don't understand like how permanent being written off, to the black community really is. Like once you're written off, like you're done. There ain't no recovery. We seriously speaking, as black people, we really don't play that. Who has been cast into the abyss and able to come back? Like, give me one person. If I'm wrong, give me one person that black people casted out into the fucking abyss and they were able to come back and somehow redeem themselves. Give me an example. I can't think of an example. You know what I mean? I remember, that people were bitching about, was it Justin Timberlake? He did some fuck shit years ago, and they was like, be gone, nigga. Like black people was done. Bill Clinton, when he went up, like Bill Clinton was the blackest president. He was the blackest president. He played the saxophone. He was the blackest president. He's the first black president. Then that motherfucker made that off comment about Jesse Jackson, only one or something like that because of black people. Man, black people were like, bye, Bill, bye. Like black people were done. They were done with that motherfucker. Like it's just hilarious. When it comes to the shit. Hillary Clinton, her super predator comments. People were like, bye, Hillary. We done with you. And I'm saying, look, we're not always perfect and on code, with the shit. Because sometimes, certain people need some canceling. And we just, we give them, I think we give other black folks, more chances than definitely than people outside of the community. But I'm just saying, it's just funny to me, looking at the people that they by simple observation, right? They should be identifying with us. That doesn't have to be like it's your brother, but at least, first and second cousin type of relationship. But no, they over there, we are not them, you know what I'm saying, type of shit. Okay, well then, fuck you then, you know what I mean? And then once that shit sets in, once the cement dries on that shit, man, they start bitching, man. They just start filing all type of fucking complaints. And it's just funny to me. You know what I mean? I don't want to belabor the point, but it's so... Am I the only one that sees this? I know y'all see this. I know you all see this shit. I know you see it. Cause I see it. You know what I mean? And you know, I might be, you know, fairly observant, but I mean it's just this shit is funny to me. I'm like, how is it that you feel some type of way about our opinion when again, we don't have any value. It's so again, I'm just saying, I just think a lot of black people, we have magical powers, if you want to call it that, and we don't appreciate it ourselves. We downplay it, we overlook it, all of the above. But anyway, I'm done with this video. I just wanted to add my thoughts on that. So that's my video. SWP out. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe.